deal is important here. So again, a quick high-level overview. Who is this guy? He started in 1976, began with the El Paso Police Department. He rose steadily through the ranks after leaving El Paso after 37 allegations of time off, some of that for beating a prisoner and putting that individual into the intensive care unit with a flashlight, by the way, while handcuffed. And they actually took him to the grand jury, but the handcuffed individual was unable to testify against him, so he skated.
He narrowly escaped prosecution. Let's say it the way it is.
So let's look at the reality of that. Okay. The reality of that is back then, this guy was suspended 37 times.
37.
37 times.
Something, yeah. That's wow. How do you get to 37 suspensions?
And then become sheriff in Pima County.
Oh, boy. Wow. Do you want me to stay here or do you want me to play it?
Well, yeah, just keep playing. I mean, anytime you guys want to stop it, just say, stop.
No. I don't want to be doing it too much though, because we need to stop, I guess, every now and then.
6 years.
One of those suspensions was for beating a prisoner with a flashlight, to the point where the district attorney said, that's criminal. Let's take him to the grand jury. Ladies and gentlemen, around this country, around the world, that's who's leading the Nancy Guthrie investigation.
And lots of other investigations.
This guy is leading. I'm going to say it again. And Savannah, if you're listening, please talk to your people and get this guy out of the picture.
He's just a piece of a lot of a bigger puzzle too.
He lost his 2016 reelection amid the incident we're going to talk about tonight, the RICO fallout. Okay. But he won a rematch in 2020 and remains in office as of 2026. And so now let me back up to the very beginning. He was appointed sheriff.
Yeah, he was appointed.
Very beginning.
That's how they get in.
Elected.
They appoint him.
Yeah.
They're doing that in the city too.
He took the position from a sheriff who resigned or
retired. No, he retired.
He retired. Okay. This guy oversees 1,500 plus department employees under his command right now. You don't think those folks are going to try to bend the law? Not all of them. But you don't think, and thank goodness that one deputy who went out there and talked to those citizen journalists and said, hey man, I'm under orders to do this. And thank goodness he put it in his report, because that is why the district attorney suspended those cases. There was no way on the earth that they were going to go after those individuals, because they knew it was on body camera and it was on video camera of what that deputy said. So what the deputy basically said was, my higher ups put me in a position of what they call under the color of authority. And that's civil rights violations. And I don't care who you are. If you're a dirty cop, you're giving folks like myself and many others a really bad look. And I'm glad that officer did the right thing by documenting it in his reports, and why the district attorney, to her credit, I have to give her credit, suspended those investigations. And why do I even bother with those concepts? Because this is on the heel of these types of violations, where the federal government comes in and does a RICO investigation. So what do you expect? There's a culture, is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Culture within inside of that agency that
Inside of the
is
whole
driven
county.
by Sheriff Nnaos. And we've experienced it. Karen and I have experienced it. And that's another conversation, but we'll get there. So what are the RICO and forfeiture funds? Karen, let's talk about the origin. Where did the money come from?
So money and property seized from criminals, excuse me, under federal RICO and civil forfeiture laws is then shared with local agencies. So that means that when they take in RICO money, it has to be spent basically on crime fighting.
Yep.
Do you agree?
Yeah, it has to be.
Okay, so the intended use, there's strict law on this. It is strictly used for policing, equipment, training, crime prevention, overtime. You have to use it. There has to be that direct benefit for crime fighting.
So you can't use it on parties, you can't use it on gifts, and you can't use it on
Personal
personal
stuff.
benefits.
Yeah.
Okay, in any way, shape, or form. However, there was a loophole that the sheriff and others had been utilizing for many, many years. So give them a little high level overview about what that loophole was.
So they routed funds through their nonprofit. It's the Sheriff's Auxiliary Volunteers account to sidestep federal limits. So what's the Auxiliary Volunteers? Those are basically the citizen volunteers who volunteer their time for no pay, and they work under patrol. Maybe they help with traffic or crowd control at events, or with patrol for certain certain situations. But these are citizens. These aren't even the reserve officers. These are just citizens. And there's the fund. They're called the Auxiliary Volunteers, and they have an account. And it's the duty and job of the sheriff to make sure that the monies that go in are spent correctly. And anyway, they routed this RICO money through that account. The FBI figured this out when they did their investigation. And I think it's also, I want to tell people that, so what did they do? Where did they spend the money? They bought personal items. They paid for awards ceremonies. And they bought items for 2 cafes that were run inside the sheriff's department. One's at headquarters, and the other one was at the jail. And these are for county employees. If you don't work, you can only go there and use it if you're with the sheriff's department, is my understanding. This isn't anything that the public could ever walk into the sheriff's headquarters and go to this little cafe. This was like for employees only. And I have to laugh. When I was looking at all this, digging it up, the name of the cafes is called Off the Record, the Exclusive Cafe.
You can't make that up.
You cannot make that up, right? So let me get this right. It's almost like Sheriff Nnaos is using this kind of like a private country club. And they call it, at least they did, the Exclusive Club. I mean, you're a public servant. There shouldn't be anything exclusive about anything related to the sheriff's department. It's outrageous.
So essentially there are 2 cafes set up, if I hear you correctly. One in the jail and one at the
All right. What do you think? What do you think so far about these cafes? I mean, obviously this was a long time ago, but this is a pattern. What else has been going on? I mean, they get a lot of money. How much money does the sheriff get every year?
They get
Well,
quite,
there were 2 years they were over budget. Remember?
yeah.
At least 2 years.
And I believe, I don't know how the structure works or how their funds work, but Sheriff Nnaos started that basically task force for driving task force he's got. They bought all kinds of new stickers, and now they're even pulling over semis. They're weighing them out. They're finding people who are driving commercially. So I don't know if that's how he, made a deal with the board of supervisors to help stem the flow of money going out for him being over budget. But what I am sure of is that it hasn't gotten better. They've only figured out how to hide it better.
Oh, it's a well-oiled machine. That's what I'm saying. But it's all connected where there's been some infighting within the Democrats of Nnaos and obviously Christie because anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but as far as there's just it all comes down to money, and Nnaos keeps wanting more money, and then if he doesn't get it, he overspends on the overtime just because he doesn't care. So not only is he screwing the people, but he's screwing his own like other people that he works with, other government. Because when you're $4 million over, that's a lot of money. I mean,
Oh yeah, he that little short squatty dude sucks all the oxygen out of the room. That's for sure. Oxygen, money, whatever it is.
Did you ever hear about somebody was saying a long time ago there was like a protest for at like one of these at like the mayor's house? Have you ever heard of anything like that?
This mayor or like Mayor Bob Walkup?
I think this mayor.
Regina Romero? Oh,
Yeah, I
sorry.
thought, and then from what I heard, they like this was a while back, and then she built a wall, like a huge wall around her house
Is that why
because
she was complaining about Trump's wall?
yeah,
Not
no,
playing politics, but yeah.
this was a while ago because she also our mayor. I don't know if anybody knows this, but she has two full-time officers that are assigned to her.
Wow.
You didn't know that?
No, I mean, I guess I could figure that they would have protection for her, but I didn't
No,
know
well,
while she's
no,
out of work at home, following her around to the grocery store and stuff. How
yeah,
deep did it go? Really?
yeah. It's about I think it's about $400,000 or $500,000 a year it costs us.
For personal
So
bodyguards, huh?
yeah, you can look it up. Just
And that's
I
great. Have you ever been to City Hall?
yeah,
Have
one
you got
time it's been a
have,
while.
have you gotten in past the metal detectors, walking in with a camera?
No, I didn't do it with a camera. This was a long time ago. I mean, we're talking like 15 years ago.
These people are all they're hiding from the public. We've went in there several times into City Hall. You should be able to walk around in City Hall. You go up to City Hall in Phoenix, you can walk through the doors, go up the stairs, go basically you have free reign of the place. You walk into
Yep.
City Hall here in Tucson, and it's like you're a criminal walking through the door. Same thing at the sheriff's department, same thing at the police department. Pima County and City of Tucson have it completely locked down. I mean, like you said, it's not any worse. It is worse here than it is anywhere else in Arizona.
Yeah. Then you go
That
in there
is
and there's
for sure.
20 cameras pointing at you from every which way.
Yeah, right.
More,
They got
more
20
and more every day.
Yep.
That's why I'd like to see this guy, the Long Island audit
Oh,
guy. Do you like him? Is he on the good list? Hopefully.
Sean
He,
Reyes.
I appreciate him, but he's not interested in. He's got a lot going on. He's not really interested in other people's stories per se.
Well, yeah. I mean, I mean, it's hard because he's getting arrested too, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I saw,
Oh yeah.
and
He's,
so
I watched him through court cases and everything. Yeah, he's going through it all.
yeah. I mean, that's why it really,
I can
anyway.
imagine. I can imagine. Remember, we offline we talked about kind of the politics going on around here.
Yeah.
It would not be well received if he showed up here. Like the world would freak out in that community for sure.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
not
let's
saying that
get
it's
back to the I
justified
hear
or
you.
valid,
Yeah.
but
Well, everybody's
well,
got their thing. I know that. I know I never knew there was this much drama on YouTube, but
Mhm.
let's get back to it.
yeah.
Eh.
These cafes are run by who are the players here?
Shibby?
Well, we'll get to that. Let's answer this.
Okay.
Let's go through this. So when does this kick off? November 2015.
I have to give kudos to the local newspaper in 2015. They did some investigative reporting. They filed public records requests, and they figured out that the money that was used to fund these cafes inside the sheriff's department, they were using RICO money. And it gets worse. The chief deputy Radke allowed his niece, okay, his relative,
Talk about nepotism.
talk about nepotism in a public institution, not a private company.
No bids.
No bids, no nothing. It gets worse. He allowed his niece to run these two cafes rent free. One of them didn't even have a health permit. And the equipment for these cafes was purchased with the RICO money. Huge, that's a crime in and of itself.
Caitlin Smith, the journalist here, she did a great job.
Yeah.
Digging. Go ahead.
And under no contract. So he gives his niece the ability to run these cafes and make money, not collect rent, and I'm sorry, this is the people's money. So these were run, that is like totally unheard of and completely illegal.
So if again, let's always remember that as we keep going here, this is all going to ultimately tie into why this guy thinks he can get away with anything. However, that will change when an arrest is made. If you think about this right now, if we just do the math right now, right? All of us that have been following Nancy Guthrie, we want justice for Savannah, and we want justice for Nancy Guthrie. That's so important. Every single witness that comes up on the witness list, and it will also be Nnaos, because Nnaos responded the night she disappeared. So somewhere his name is written on a witness list that he entered the house that was a crime scene. And he, the next day, said, it's a crime scene. If I was the defense attorney, I can guarantee you I will have a subpoena in that guy's hand. I guarantee you I would put him on the stand and now go through his truthfulness, all of the things that we're pointing out. And then in front of a jury's going to go, wait a minute, what's going on here? And do they have the right guy? That's going to be the questions that will arise. And if we want to see how that looks or how it feels or, whatever, okay, just look what's happening in the Tyler Robinson case right now. They're complaining about a DA's daughter attending the event where Charlie Kirk was shot. Can you imagine if a defense attorney goes through all this stuff, what that's going to be like? So the best thing for anybody to do is get this case quickly, or at least try to find some type of federal nexus and get it out of the hands of the state attorney's office and into the hands of the U.S. attorney's office somehow. Unfortunately, right now, Nnaos holds the cards because it occurred in his county. But this is right out of Oh, brother, where art thou? And the mayor and the sheriff, remember? Where they're, doing the dance and the guys come in through the back. This is Nnaos. That's his group. Number one, this starts in 2015. We'll call it Cafe Gate.
Shibby,
Yeah, and again, kudos.
what do you think about this so far, RP? Is this like is this hitting close to home? Just Sheriff Nanos's behavior in Pima County?
Definitely. I mean, it's just a pattern since he's got in. Like I said, you know, I, it's kind of like what's going on, what people are thinking that's going on in the federal government, that, you know, these people are all compromised, and it goes deeper than just him being, an egomaniac or just wanting to be in control. I think that there's a bigger organization underneath that's,
It's all come back to money, right? Because I
yeah.
posted today. I mean, I don't know how much the Pima County budget is, but the city of Tucson, in 2020, it was 1.24 billion, and then in 2026, it's 2.5 billion. So it's went up that much in 6 years since the mayor took office.
Yeah, and I mean, you just look at what's going on. Like, what incentive does a Pima County Board of Supervisor have to approve a land sale for a data center? Like, every one of their constituents are out there saying, we don't want it, we don't want it, we don't want it. So, yeah, I think it's trying to figure out and follow the money. So, I've put in public records requests. I actually put in a public records request for Richard Castiger and Nnaos's credit cards. They lied to me, told me that they didn't have any credit cards. I've tried to follow the money. I've tried to do tons of public records requests to get information, and you just get stonewalled because one of the people that I sued, Sean Holquin, he's the liaison for the sheriff's department down at the Pima County Attorney's Office. He's basically the legal counsel for the sheriff's department. And that first time when they trespassed me from the sidewalk, the deputies called him, and Sean Holquin said that the street was private and that they could go ahead and trespass me. So I added him to the lawsuit. Obviously, he got dismissed. But what I come to find out, and I actually have an article I was looking through today where Sheriff Nnaos says that he doesn't have the ability to let out a lot of the stuff on public records. So it gets submitted to the sheriff's office, but it goes directly through the public records office. And Dawn is her name. She's the custodian of records at the sheriff's department. So whenever she gets a request that's outside their purview or something more than a police report, it goes directly to Sean Holquin, and he runs it up the flag to Laura Conover's office to see if they will let them release the information. So it's all tied together. It's not just Nnaos not giving out the information. It's the two organizations are one and the same. You know, where's Laura Conover for all these deaths? We just had 3 more deaths in the last 35 days at the jail.
Exactly. Wow.
And the same thing that you said earlier with, he's just letting all of this stuff happen. Well, I think he's just letting these deaths happen at the jail because he's been wanting to build a new $800 million to $1 billion jail basically since he got in office. So, if they let enough people die in jail and they can say that it's because of, the jail and the resources and the facility that they have, I think he's hoping that they can talk him into buying him a new jail. There's a lot more money to be embezzled when you spend $1 billion on a jail. Not saying they are, but I'm just saying it gives them the ability to work with $1 billion.
Yeah.
Contract favorites, for example, like Joe Arpaio. I guess his family up in Maricopa County, they ran all the vending machines. So all of the overpriced items that people were buying from commissary, all the money was going into his family's pockets.
Well, and that's if you can help me find any of all those connections with the Romero, Adelita, Grijalva, and all those family. I mean, there's probably 20 families that I could give you if we can find out. Because there's a guy on Facebook. He posts about this Durazo construction. Have you heard of this company?
I have.
I'm trying to find out if the owner is related to Romero, and he posted this big old thing like claiming that, and I'm like, I'll look into it, but if you want to look into that anyway, yeah, let's talk about that Durazo construction on a different day. But
All right.
Shibby, back to anything you want to add, Shibby?
Nope. The tentacles are running deep. Yeah, there's probably lots of connections there with all these people getting the extra contracts and stuff like that. Glad you guys.
Yeah, it sounds like Canada, and you guys have your districts, right?
Pretty much the same up here. We're less. Our prison systems are less for profit than you guys, though. But I mean,
do you have something weird going on with your car dealerships where like the local politician like owns them or something?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, I'll talk about it a different day.
Yeah, I don't know. First I heard of it. I'll look into it though. Yeah, Canada. I mean, there's only 40 million people in here. I probably know them.
That's it.
I'll get on that.
Newspaper that dug this up and then printed their story, which came out in early 2016, I believe. November 2015, but they had subsequent stories. And so that is what kicked off the FBI probe.
Correct.
But of course, their investigators came in and dug deep and found it was far worse than what first met the eye.
Yeah. So the Arizona Daily Star investigative reporter, Caitlin, reveals that Chief Deputy Radkin's niece is running a cafe inside the sheriff's headquarters in the jail. Rent-free, no contract, as Karen has talked about, which led into step number 2, the spending. An audit was done, and it was discovered that approximately $30,000 was spent on kitchen equipment and renovations. So the news started asking questions. Well, wait a minute. They were actually being journalists, investigative journalists, and said, hey, wait a minute. How does the niece of the chief get these 2 cafeterias, and how does she get $30,000 to renovate all this new equipment, et cetera, et cetera? So that was the first claim that appeared in RICO funding. Then it was later walked back, saying that no, it didn't come from the SAV account. It came from the general fund. Talk about general funds and why that's important.
Well, this piece is really critical because you had trusted Pima County Sheriff commanders. It was Nnaos and it was Radke. And when they were pressed by the local media, they said, yeah, it was RICO money, which was the case. That was the truth. But then once it became a scandal, then they lied, which this part just sticks in my craw. I mean, I can't handle when, elected officials and people with power lie blatantly. It's disgusting. They claim, no, it came from general fund. it was the general fund. Well, that was a lie. No, it wasn't. And by the way, general funds have to be used for public purposes. A cafe inside headquarters and a jail for the employees is not that's not public use. Public use are the Pima County residents. So I just think that's a really important point, because first, when they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar,
Hand in the cookie jar.
RICO funds, they realized, oh, that's a bad look. Maybe we knew we were doing wrong. We got caught, and then they lied. And the media has them all on that, has their lies, in the paper and TV as well. So, there you go. That's who's running the sheriff's department.
Okay, so now we get into number 3. This is when an FBI investigation was launched. That type of reporting triggered a full FBI investigation into the broader misuse of RICO funds across the department. So what they started doing was looking at all of the line items in their budget, and then they did an audit on all those line items and wanted to know if the money was following the federal guidelines in terms of expenditures. You can't use federal money, i.e. they call it asset seizure funds. And let me give you an example. So let's say you stop a car with what they call a group called the HIDTA group. The HIDTA group is high impact drug trafficking. And in those HIDTA groups are officers that are assigned to that particular task force, just like the FBI violent crime task force that sheriff says, oh, I talked to the FBI. No, he's got an officer involved or officer assigned to that task force. Well, there's another task force called the HIDTA group. And because that area is what they call a HIDTA area, it's a high impact drug trafficking because it's a corridor, as well as, believe it or not, the 95 and the 65 on the East Coast, and then through Georgia as well, the 40, the 70, going cross countries, et cetera. All of those are what we call HIDTA corridors. Well, the federal government pays for task forces to police those corridors. Well, let's say you stop a car and you have a dog that is narcotics trained, and the dog does an air search around the car, and the dog hits on the car, i.e. there could be cocaine, fentanyl, whatever in that vehicle. Well, that's probable cause now to search that car. So they go into the car. They end up arresting the individual because they find drugs, lots of drugs, hypothetically. All right. And let's say they find 2 bags of cash. And the dog then sniffs those bags, and the aroma of narcotics is also on that cash. So now the sheriff's department, under federal asset seizure laws, can say, that's our money. We are seizing this money and putting it into evidence. They can also seize the car that the individual was driving. So not only do they get the drugs, the suspect, they get the car, and
Would
they
be
get
interesting,
and that goes
Chevy.
to
Sir.
Would be interesting if Sheriff Nnaos got that car off one of these raids or something.
Get out. No.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm
Yeah,
I'm making a joke, but that would be hilarious, right?
I don't think
Be
he'd
like-
do that. I think he'd put it through his friends or cousins first. Or he'd know how to launder it a bit, clean it up.
All right, go back.
Maybe,
Yeah.
possibly.
Right.
Just a question we're asking. That's all.
federal asset seizure rules. Well, the sheriff's department gets a percentage of that of all of those assets. So you ever heard of the auctions, federal auctions, where they're selling cars and that kind of stuff? Those are the type of cars that they're selling. They're selling cars that were used in criminal, in crimes. That's a good thing, actually, okay? Because it helps fund law enforcement agencies, smaller agencies, et cetera, that don't have a lot of money to combat, the drug epidemics. So the program's a great program unless you give the money back to a sheriff in Pima County who puts it in a reserve fund for citizen volunteers. That money is supposed to go into the general fund when it comes back to the agency. And that money then at that point has to be utilized for training, for equipment, like, new sirens, whatever. That's where it's supposed to go. But the sheriff's department didn't do that. They opened up 2 cafes, and it was one of the Nnaos, as we're talking about here, okay? And she didn't have permits. She didn't need anything.
No contract.
No contracts, nothing.
They never bid it out to other vendors. They never gave other vendors an opportunity to get the contract and actually operate the cafes.
Right. So which is number 3 here. The FBI, rightfully so, it's their responsibility to oversee those funds and make sure they're properly being spent. And so they go and they do an internal records audits. And they discover that RICO money had been funneled through the SAV accounts for years, almost 20 years.
Yeah,
20
wow.
years, should be 20 years.
Enabling spending that violated federal laws. Now, why is this important, or how does it implicate Nnaos? Well, when Nnaos was elected sheriff, he now was responsible for managing those funds. And he, rather than call the FBI and say, hey, I need to let you know I'm shutting these funds down because I noticed some, peculiarities here, he kept it going and kept ciphering money off into these funds.
And I think it should be noted that Nnaos requested more than $200,000 in transfers to that account that the FBI ended up investigating. So he was doing this to the tune of $200,000 worth of things like,
What was he spending on?
but it's personal items,
Parties.
paying for award ceremonies, within the department, and 30,000 of that went to the cafes. Can we talk a little bit about his number 2 guy?
Yeah, of course. Hit him.
Okay. So the axe really fell on the number 2 guy, this Chief Deputy Chris Radke. He was in charge of this particular task for admin. Corvette Cafe. Yeah, that's what Nnaos should have named it. That's a good one. So former Chief Deputy Radke, he was originally indicted on 7 felony charges, including 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering and 6 counts of theft concerning programs receiving federal funds. And we already said to the tune of $500,000. He was allowed to make a plea deal. And so he ended up pleading guilty to 3 misdemeanor counts of theft of public money.
So how many counts did he have?
7 felony charges.
So this guy gets 7 charges, felonies.
Yeah.
and he's allowed to plea down to how many?
3 counts of misdemeanor.
3 misdemeanors.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So in May of 2017, he got 1 year probation, a $3,000 fine, 100 hours of community service, and this last one's my favorite, a stipulation prohibiting him from seeking employment in law enforcement or with Pima County. A la Joe Cameron / Joe Henry, or Joe Henry / Joe Cameron. I can't remember. Who was a guy who got in trouble. He got fired from the sheriff's department. We already talked about this if you're just joining us. And he was allowed to, he fought
right,
it in
Shibby.
court, changed his name.
Jimmy,
Sir. Yes, yes.
real quickly, guess what?
What?
Reluctant Prophet, you just got up to 67,000 now.
Oh, wow. Right on, dude.
That's good. Awesome.
You-
Thank you.
You were at 66 something.
Yeah.
I just saw it, so I'm gonna put a link.
Well, I
And then-
appreciate everybody coming in. I appreciate you letting me come on your live, and
No, I'm glad you're gonna be back because I know you were taking a little break, and now, maybe you'll get back and just, keep doing what you're doing. But yeah, there's the link. Go sub up to Reluctant Prophet, and then everybody's already subbed up to Shibby, so he's good to go.
all right. Cool. Well, I'm not, so I'll go here after the stream and
Oh, see, Shibby, there you go. One more to go. One more
There
on
you
the.
go. Pretty soon I'll be at 3,700.
nice.
Actually, I was just looking at the numbers. It's kind of cool because you got 10 times the amount of followers as me, but also 10 times the amount of likes. So it's pretty good for me to be a little guy like me hanging out with you big guys, big stars.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I mean, yeah, it's
Uh,
the number of followers does not mean anything really, essentially,
Mhm.
but it's all about building your community, and everybody. I know you do, and I love going into your chat. I even remember going into RP's chat, but sometimes I would just learn, just lurk and learn. That's a good term, lurk and learn.
For sure.
And then, and like Lane's channel, I'd go in there and just listen because we're just newbies in this. Freedom. What are our rights? We kind of know, but we don't. If that makes sense, we still. So.
you guys are doing a service. You're out there in your community. You're making things better. You're entertaining. It's like free therapy coming to these chats and meeting all these great people. I mean, win. So thank you
Absolutely.
guys for allowing me to be here.
And I was
Whoa, Virginia. Okay, go ahead. I'm just talking to the chat. Go ahead.
no, you're fine. I've been watching you since it started, and then I saw you go out and do a couple of live streams where you were doing following the cops, and quietly to myself, I was thinking he's going to get arrested at some point. it's just the way they are. They don't like transparency. They don't want people watching them, following them, and it's only a matter of time before they retaliate. That's just in their DNA.
Well, I never did it to the Pima County Sheriff. I mean, I did
Yes, you
occasionally.
did.
When?
No, but I'm just saying when you went out to Nancy Guthrie's,
Oh yeah.
they took affront to that, and they feel like you're harming them in some way, screwing up the investigation, creating chaos. You weren't doing any of that. But I just felt as you were going out to do more things and interacting more with the law enforcement, that's just how they act. I mean, it's just a matter of time.
Yep. Makes sense now. Yeah, totally makes sense.
Like we say, back the blue until it happens to you.
Right.
Until the boots are on your neck. I supported you. You'd be looking. I supported you guys.
Oh, when I came back to Tucson, I moved back from Phoenix. I signed up for the Tucson police picnic they had and donated money for their. They had a bring your dog down to the park thing where you could donate money. I was trying to be more involved with everything going on, and like I said, kind of bit me in the butt, and here we are now. Um, it's hard for me to go out and support them in their current form.
It is. I know this person. I don't think she means it, but this Anna Banana. She says, "I hate freedom."
Oh no, she's my rabble rouser. She's all right.
I know. I remember her. She's
Yeah.
always a rebel rouser. Is that?
Yeah,
Is that?
she goes out cop watching with us and stuff.
Yeah. No. I remember. She does a great job. So I compliment you, Anna Bananas.
Yeah, she's definitely a character.
No, I mean, she's out there. I know she's been out there, and I'm, all the people. So get back to the show, Shibby. Thank you for being the DJ.
Did you read Dom's chat? Dom, see, you're amazing. She says, "Hi guys, thanks for." No, she says, "I'm already in Shibby's chat and I'm using 2 devices. I love them both. Dom, we love you."
Yeah, all of a sudden I got a couple grumpy people. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
I don't
Don't
know
you
what.
worry.
Virginia said she's unsubscribing. Something about.
Oh,
So I hope you guys decide to stay. I don't know what happened. It has
Maybe you're
nothing to
reading
do with
wrong.
us. Nothing with
Yeah, you're
us. I
probably-
think.
you're probably reading it wrong. I do this all the time. I jump in chat and I make it worse, and they're probably talking about somebody else, and they love us. So
Yeah. Oh, I'm
I
sure.
always read things. We
All
always
right,
take it the
good.
wrong way.
Yeah. No,
And
I
2
hear
years
you.
later, came back and got rehired with the Pima County Sheriff's Department after basically being bounced out. And now he's the number 2 guy under Sheriff Nnaos, head of the Nancy Guthrie investigation.
which sheds some interesting light on one U.S. senator
Here we go.
a box of donuts.
Donuts in the chat.
And I went back and I watched his press conference recently where he made a very interesting comment. And that comment was, "I hope the sheriff and the FBI can work together." And he said it in that press conference out at the curb when he just came out after bringing the donuts in. And that was Senator Kelly, the senator who Savannah called the day her mother disappeared. So you have the highest political forces in the United States, including Trump on an airplane weighing in, including the FBI director weighing in, and a U.S. senator on the scene. Every one of these guys has to know about Nnaos. If they don't, they do tonight. You got a problem. Because let's look at the diversion scheme for a second, and then we'll jump right back here, honey. Okay?
Okay.
Number 1, here was the 4 steps to how they pulled this off. First of all, there had to be seizure money. And that RICO forfeiture money, again, is seized from criminal cases and approved for transfer to the sheriff's department. So the money is grabbed in the field, like I talked about. It goes through a process of examination. A case is usually adjudicated through the U.S. Attorney's Office, and then some of that money is approved to come back to the sheriff's department. Once that money comes back, it goes into step number 2. It should have been moved into a general line item in the general fund. Instead, they moved it to the Sheriff's Auxiliary Volunteer Fund. Essentially, what they were doing is trying to launder the money and hide it.
Ooh,
Be able to spend it without stringent federal requirements.
in a nonprofit
That was their
foundation.
workaround.
Right. Because
Their dubious workaround.
the fund that they put it into, that Karen discovered, was a nonprofit account. Now think about that. This law enforcement agency, the money's supposed to buy stuff to keep the sheriffs, to keep prisoners, to keep the citizens of Pima County safe. That's why the federal government gave them back the money. But instead, they put it in a nonprofit account, which they tried to hide it. Okay. So that put them on the radar for bypassing the laws, the rules, number 3. Inside the SAV account, federal restrictions no longer applied. Basically, they hid the money.
And did what they wanted to do with it.
So here's my question. What else is he hiding?
Dun, dun,
Because that's
dun.
what the defense is going to ask. Sheriff Nnaos, let's go into the future. He's on
Welcome in,
the
Sal.
Nancy Guthrie case. Because you can bet the defense is going to argue to the court, this is relevant. This information is relevant to the honesty, the integrity of the sheriff's department and the totality of this investigation for whoever that person's going to be at the defense table. And the defense is going to argue, Your Honor, this is exculpatory potentially for under the, my client's right to a fair trial. And we want to know, because one of those questions is going to be, isn't it true, Sheriff Nnaos, you hid this money in the Sheriff's Auxiliary Volunteer account, a nonprofit account, which was a loophole to the federal government asset seizure funds?
They love those
And
loopholes.
he's going to answer no, because that's what Nnaos does. But will a jury believe him? That's what I'm worried about, because the second piece of that's going to be, hey, what else did you hide? Why didn't you take the mat? Because you knew, didn't you, that it wasn't my guy. And you would not have, and you didn't find his DNA on that mat. So you left it. Isn't that true, Sheriff? No, that's not true. But a jury's going to decide that, because the number 4 piece here was concealment. And just like this investigation, okay, a proper paper trail was made, and that at this point, they made it look like the money supported legitimate volunteers and crime prevention work. So basically, they made a story up.
They knew they were doing wrong and they covered it up.
The sheriff, just like his resume, allowed it to continue on under his watch, under his leadership in that agency. And this is why we understand when he reads things like, well, I got to make sure I have talking points correctly for the family. What? This is his MO, everybody. It really is. This is his MO. Thoughts, Karen?
I mean, there's a pattern. This guy has left a pattern
He's a tyrant.
throughout his career.
I've never seen anything like this. And we're going to have
Hey, Shibby,
John
Yes,
on.
sir. Yes, sir.
are you or how are you hanging in there?
I can go all night long. You guys, I feel like I'm watching you guys. You guys are great. This is amazing. I didn't realize.
No, we're
I'm
watching.
seriously-
We're watching this, but what do you think as far as the RICO funds? Is this like a pattern, do you think, RP, with like some of your members, your people that like, have they been harassed by the sheriff, or is it mainly TPD?
Well, the people that have reached out to me, have been because of the sheriff's department. I've had a couple of people reach out to me for the police department. Specifically, one lady named Rhonda, who the TPD let the canine after her nephew, and he chewed them all up, and then they let him sit in jail with all the wounds for quite some time. But I think that this is kind of old information, and they've either stopped doing it or figured out a different way. But I've never heard of anybody in recent times having any civil asset forfeiture done to them where their vehicle or their money has been taken.
So do they take it from regular people too? Don't they get a little greedy sometimes, and like regular people get caught up in all this?
Oh yeah,
They take the money.
They can pull you over, and if you've got $10,000 in your car, they can just go ahead and take it, and you've got to explain
Yeah.
where it came from or why you're rolling around with that kind of money, which
Yeah.
is none of their.
Or the odds that the dogs might smell something. I mean, it's obvious that money, like you got $10,000, somebody's probably done something with it, right?
Yeah, well, keep in mind, if you ever get pulled over for a traffic stop, they're not allowed, per the Supreme Court, to extend the stop so that they can bring a dog in and
Right.
search your vehicle. So if anybody encounters that, once they're done issuing the ticket, they have to let you go. They can't just have you sit there. So
Many times people don't know their rights, and they ask. They ask a lot, and people just allow, and they hand
Oh,
over their stuff.
yeah, they willingly give up their Fourth Amendment
Mhm.
all the time. Out cop watching, we see it on a daily basis where people are just foregoing their Fourth Amendment. They're doing the stupid human tricks and and agreeing to the DUI test, which you should
Right.
never ever.
Yeah. You ever see a cop get pulled over? They'll never do it. Every time I watch those body cam videos, and every time a cop gets pulled over, they're like, "Nope, not doing it. Nope, I'm not dumb."
Yeah, you're not even giving your lawyer a fighting chance.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more stuff going on these days.
We're having a little trouble hearing you again. I don't know. Someone said, I wish I could hear reluctant prophet.
All right, is that I got to pull the mic right by my face?
Yeah, that's how those work. And you might have something on your back end that you can like turn it up, but I don't know.
Gotcha.
Or if you have the auto in StreamYard, I keep the auto settings on. It seems pretty good.
Okay, let's see mic volume. We can turn it up. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah,
Sounds
no,
great.
it's way better.
Okay. Yeah, I just think that there's so much more going on with rights violations and stuff. I mean, I think that this is, kind of a non-starter since it's already happened, and I'm sure there's more going on with his family and the money and stuff, but it's going to be very difficult to track. I mean, I think the easier path, if we had some legal help, would be all of the rights violations that the sheriff and the Pima County Attorney's Office are engaged in.
Yeah, and Sue is talking about Dr. Carmona, who.
Oh,
who
yeah.
he's-
Yeah.
And yeah, I play. We can play that. But yeah, this is old news. But here, this is what we're trying to tie it all together. Is it's still happening today? Today, it's a pattern. That's the whole thing. And even though that he got away with it, he should not have gotten away with it. That's what the ending of this. I hate to be a spoiler.
Okay.
And the FBI needs to reopen this and hold the people accountable, because we obviously see what happened here. It seems like they just swept it under the rug, and that's our money. That's that's a lot of money. So that's the taxpayers' money that basically went to family members. And anyway, so go ahead and but it is pretty interesting the way they're breaking it down with these charts, and it's pretty professional.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
this is actually really good.
To talk about this stuff in a deeper sense. But what else do you have on your side?
Watch this.
So, I mean, this is kind of a side point, but again, it speaks to Sheriff Nnaos' mindset. When the newspaper stories came out, of course, they sought quotes from him and Chief Deputy Radke as well. And I want to read to you what Sheriff Nnaos said. In defending his use of RICO money just for the cafes. Now, this was before the FBI probe was finished. So it had just started or was about to begin. And so Sheriff Nnaos said that the cafes that were run inside headquarters and the jail provided employees with a necessary service. He said, quote, "We just said, this is what we want: inexpensive, hot, and quality food. Here's my take. Relatives involved and all that, I would be more concerned if someone in the department was making money on this deal," end quote. Well, P.S. Radke's niece did make money. She was running these operations rent-free. So she kept the money that she made. So, that was a lie. And Nnaos said because the department wasn't looking to make money from the cafes, he didn't see the need to seek bids from various vendors. But as we just said, Radke's niece was profiting from the businesses.
So he double talked it.
He absolutely, totally double talked it.
I mean, he knows where that money should have gone. That's the problem here with him. Go ahead.
Now, I want to underscore how important this investigation was and the results. So we said earlier in 2016, the sitting sheriff who was appointed, again, if you're just joining us, Sheriff Nnaos was appointed mid-year 2015 when the outgoing sheriff retired. The Board of Supervisors had appointed him. So for the 2016 election, because of this RICO scandal, he lost the election. So who did he lose it to? Mark Napier became the sheriff. And after Radke got to plead out to the 3 misdemeanors and got what everybody viewed as a lenient sentence, Napier asked the state attorney general to do their own investigation as sheriff. He had that. He had every right to do that. So the state AG investigated, and they came to the same conclusion that the FBI came to. So the state AG declined to file state charges against Radke or Nnaos. And but Mark Napier, again, the sheriff at the time, said that Radke and there was a third guy, the former chief of staff. His name was Brad Gagnapane. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that.
Gagnapane, have you heard of that name?
Gagnapane and
I have not.
Nnaos concocted an elaborate scheme to hide the illegal use of the RICO money, which Chris and I just laid out. In June of 2016, Gagnapane unalived himself.
Now think about that.
Did you know about that?
That it came
No,
out.
I didn't.
That sounds
So
pretty-
that's a pretty big thing where these 3 made this scheme to basically, launder the money essentially through this nonprofit, the sheriff's auxiliary, and then one of the guys committed unalived.
pretty suspicious, eh?
One of them got a great plea deal. One of them died, and the other one is sheriff.
Right.
Oh,
Yep.
how convenient. So do you think obviously some foul play there? Maybe, possibly, or just a coincidence?
He took his own life, so the one guy gets off with a plea bargain, can't work for the county anymore, and then this guy decides to just off himself. I don't know.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of places, I think lately I've been watching a lot of them where it's a convenient suicides, but you never know. I mean, I'm not saying or alleging anything, just.
I'd like to see the police report and some investigation files on that one.
But in this case, it runs deep because I'm not saying anything. But last time I saw it, I mean, they're right in there with the ME, the medical examiners, and everybody. They're right in the fought, So if they were able to do that stuff, we'd never know, really, if they wanted to, I guess.
No, of course not. It would be
Investigated.
almost
He
impossible.
unalived him.
Plus, oh yeah, all they have to do is have a couple of good people that won't talk, bunch of yes people in their jobs, and then they can get away with that easy. Fortunately.
Himself in June of 2016.
You have a human being taking his own life because of something that he's involved in with Nnaos. And this was a staff member.
Chief of staff. Yeah. And you want to hear something else? He had retired from the sheriff's department, and Sheriff Dupnick brought him back in. And when Dupnick retired, Nnaos brought him in as chief of staff. So it's just really sad.
This is crazy.
Yeah. And nothing happened to Nnaos.
When Karen told me this, I was like, you got to be kidding me. This guy's like a train wreck.
Nnaos.
But
yeah,
that guy had a family, and Nnaos hasn't missed a beat. That's why I'm so hard on this guy. He actually was involved in an incident. Not only did he almost take somebody's life, but somebody around him took their own life.
I don't remember where it
The
was.
sheriff you want, Pima County?
Yeah,
Is that the person you want to keep electing in your county? Is that the person you want investigating Nancy Guthrie?
Nope.
An 84-year-old woman asleep in her house? Is that the guy you support?
Wait, pause it real quick.
Excuses for this.
Can you read that on the screen? It's kind of small, but it looks like a good comment. Are you able to read that, Shibby, or make
I
it
can.
bigger? I'll make it bigger.
No,
There you go.
857 in the self-death of Assistant Chief Brad G. Nnaos refused investigation by other agencies. Crime scene files went missing. Nnaos prevented investigators reviewing items of interest. Wow. So he stonewalled it too.
Yeah, and I was just reading an article on it, and Sheriff Nnaos was doing nothing but praising the guy. So it's always, praising him. Guy does a great job, and then he just decides to off himself. There's no information of, him being stressed out or why he would do it. Or do you know what date all of this plea bargains and the case went down for this RICO? What the date was?
I mean, it was all over the news. So you just type in Sheriff Nnaos Rico, and you're gonna get probably like
Whoa.
50.
We got a big star. Sorry, interruption. Alex is back in chat. Hey, Alex, in your chat.
Oh, nice. I don't know. I know me and him got to get up early because he's got court.
Oh, he's got court for his arrest at Nancy's house tomorrow.
Yeah.
Are you going to go in and use 122 and broadcast it, or?
I mean, I don't know, what does that mean? Well, I mean, what is 120? I mean, I'm not too up on it all.
Arizona Supreme. So right now, and the other thing that we should be, everybody should be concerned about in Arizona, not to get off topic with the Lane Myers thing, but Lane Myers got in a bunch of issues with, he even went over to Laura Conover's house and knocked on her door and asked if he could put a Trump sign in her front yard. Totally lost my train of thought reading this RICO controversy. But 122.1 paragraph H, that's a Arizona Supreme Court rule. And right now, the prosecutor that Lane Myers was going up against that now has turned into a victim, and they're trying to put him in prison for 40 years for leaving a voicemail and posting his wife's public Arizona College of Law website on the internet. He was just charged with 20 criminal charges, 9 felonies, 11 misdemeanors. He took a plea bargain because they were going to try and put him in jail for 40 years. And then he just recently went back on live stream because her husband, Matt Walker, he's the assistant head prosecutor at Tucson City. He filed a petition at the Arizona Supreme Court to amend Rule 122, paragraph H specifically, because the way that it's written, it's different than the media when you want to video record a court case. Rule 122.1, I think it's 122, paragraph H. All you have to do is go in and give notice to the court or one of its staff that you will be audio recording or audio broadcasting, and you have to have the device on your person. It can't be obtrusive in the courtroom. But Lane Myers kind of exposed the flaw in that. It's not a flaw to us, it's transparency, so that we can go in and broadcast or audio record any court hearing. But they didn't like that. A lot of the people that I hung out with here downtown that did the cop watching, that did the auditing, we exercised 122 when we would go in there and audio record. Well, Lane Myers took it one step further and realized in the rules you can actually go in and do a live stream broadcast just by informing the court. They can't tell you no. Well, right now, Matt Walker is what his name is. He went and filed the petition last year at the end of the year or the beginning of the year. And they actually took that petition away. They created a task force at the Supreme Court, and they brought a new petition, and they're trying to stifle all of our First Amendment rights for the freedom of press in the courtrooms even more. So that's something that right now, Arizona Supreme Court extended the time for you to comment on their petition for 122 to make sure that it doesn't get changed. We first brought it up, and I commented with some of my viewers, and we had way more comments opposing the petition than we did for it. Laura Conover was for it. William something that's in town, Bram something, Matt Walker, Elizabeth Burton Ortiz, who's head of the Arizona Prosecutors Coalition. She signed on to, all the people at the courts basically signed on to have this rule amended so that you have to go in there and ask the judge's permission to audio record. Well, since there were so many people against it, they just created a task force, and they recreated a new petition. And Lane Myers, who was on probation for all of this stuff, he took a plea bargain. He started putting it out online again, and he was rearrested over a week ago for just simply saying my victims. He's not allowed to say their name online, but he said my victims, and he showed this website for Rule 122, and Elizabeth Burton Ortiz, she actually named Lane Myers as one of the reasons why this should be changed. So he called her on the phone, and she filed a police report last week for harassment, and they took Lane Myers back into custody, and he's facing several years in prison for making YouTube videos. So long story short, until it is amended, everybody has the right to go into a courtroom, let either the judge or their court staff know that you will be invoking Rule 122, paragraph H, and you can audio record and audio broadcast any court hearing.
Yeah, they want this distinction with credentialed media versus like YouTubers, whereas credentialed basically means bootlickers who will spew their narrative and not ask tough questions. That's the credentials.
Absolutely. I went into the court and tried to video record and got permission to video record some. And the rules of the court are they allow one camera in the courtroom. And so it's a media pool, and everybody that is there and wants access to that film, whoever is chosen to film in the courtroom has to willingly share their footage. For this Paul Clifford case, I reached out to And interesting, Allie Meadows, who was at the Pima County court as the media relations person, was actually fired. And we believe it's because she was um, trying to help Lane Myers and what was going on. And they replaced her with a new guy. He seems to be a tyrant. He was very difficult to give me the information, but I reached out to K Gun 9, who was in the courtroom with their video, and they just basically ignored me and haven't gotten back to me. And like you said, they think that they're the elite press, and they don't have to share with anybody else out there in the community that wants to exercise their First Amendment freedom of press.
Which is anybody, anyone that's a citizen for you guys. First
Absolutely.
Amendment, right? Free press.
Yeah. So if you anybody does want to go down
Good
there,
night. Good night.
I've talked to the camera guys in the courtroom, and they're very willing to share. So I can't drive down there every day, but if you go down there at the end of the court day, he will hand you his thumb drive, and
Wow.
you can download it onto your device and have the whole day's court video.
That's great.
Yeah. But for you, 857, if you want to let Alex know that he should invoke his right to audio record his own hearing so that he doesn't
Well,
have
why
to.
can't you just put it in your pocket and just record and just not tell anyone? What's the big deal? Like, why do you have to be like, just throw the phone in your pocket and hit record and call it good?
Or set up a
Well,
tripod. Alex could be able to set up his tripod and just go 5 minutes early, turn it on, and sit there with his lawyer and set it up.
well, he has a right to, and the
I
judge
think
is the judge is more apt to give permission to the defendant.
Mhm.
So a few of my friends have actually put up a tripod, including Lane Myers, on the defense desk, and and video recorded it. But
That's awesome.
the reason why, yeah, we do that. We'll audio record in our pocket so that we have the audio. But now, if you want to go in there and live broadcast in the middle of the court hearing, one of the prosecutors will stand up and they'll say, "Judge, I've just been informed that this court hearing is being live streamed," and they'll make a big deal of it. So just
Yeah.
that's why that you want to actually follow the rules, if you will, and inform the court so that when it comes down to it, they can't hold you into contempt. So if you don't notify the judge and they do find out, they can hold you in contempt.
Plus, they'll pretend they broke some accident, some rule that was basically impossible to abide by. Like they caught the ceiling tile or something with the camera, and that's it. Nobody can have a camera now because it's one person.
Exactly. And so what what the issue is say you go in there and you record it in your pocket secretly, and you go down and then you put the audio on your YouTube channel. There's a lot of people that are haters out there that will come on the channel, and then they'll be calling down to the courtroom next time and saying, "Hey, this guy audio recorded," and it just I've seen it all. So not to be devil's advocate, but that's why a reason why not to just go down there and secretly record, because you could go
Right.
down there and put a shirt pocket on and video record and they wouldn't know it either. But with the Lane Myers case, since everybody was doing that and nobody was asking permission, and the judge actually violated people's rights by not letting them audio record, the court staff and the security were actually confiscating devices before you went into the courtroom.
Wow.
I guess in their small defense, they get like those one or two people that are like causing a disturbance too. Like the ringers are going off and all these ridiculous things too. So
Yeah, well, that's that. They're not concerned with that. They're more concerned with transparency and people hearing what's going on inside the courtrooms.
but then they'll use that as an excuse to take away everyone's right. Oh, that's it. Nobody can have a camera now because this bozo had his ringer on or something.
Yeah, and anything that they can use to stifle our
Yeah.
rights is,
Yeah.
is
They don't
what
care.
they do. No, for sure.
This. Absolutely none. And at the end of the day,
Hey, Shibby,
what
pause it.
happens to this guy? He
Yes.
All right, so here's a perfect example. You got Cammy Sia in here. that says those geniuses on panel will get him arrested tomorrow. See, so
Yeah,
those
sure.
are those are the type of people. He is a looks like he is a member, but that's the type of thing that you have somebody comes in and will automatically call down in the court and say, I saw a live stream where they said that people are going to audio record. It's
Yeah.
this is just the
Well,
way it goes.
Alex's last comment said it best. Let
I
me
mean,
read it.
but
Alex,
here's the deal. Here's the deal. I mean, I think tomorrow, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, as far as his charges, but when I went the first time, they were just going to read the charges. They ended up dismissing it, but you just find out what they're being charged with. So I don't know what tomorrow is, but maybe Alex can let us know. Like,
here, let
what
me read
is
Alex's comment. Wait. He says, Judge, please do not interrupt me while I'm on my phone.
but the main thing is, I just don't know, like, because you can get a recording after, right? Okay, is this
No,
correct?
well,
You can order a recording of your
yeah,
portable.
but we've had it several times where they say, "Oh, the audio recording didn't work,"
Yeah,
or "We
you leave
weren't
it in their
audio
hands.
recording," and the only thing you get is a written transcript, so you can't hear the inflection in people's voices. You can't hear commotion that's going on. It's always better, just like when you go out to film the cops. What do they say every time? Well, we have body cams. You can get our body cams. As soon as they walk into a huddle, they mute their body cams. As soon as they're going over to talk about you, they're muting their body cams. As soon as
Or
you
it
go
gets
down there,
corrupted on upload. When it uploads, it gets corrupted. And
exactly. Or they blur out half of the. So
yeah,
it's
redaction.
always better to have your own recording. And to that guy's statement in the comments that we're going to get somebody arrested, the whole reason that these people are making such a big effort to change the Rule 122 is because we have the right to do it and they can't do anything.
And because people like him are accepting their status quo.
Exactly. I mean, everybody should be on board. For example, I'm going to put a post up. I'd like as many people that want to go down and make a comment on that new Rule 122 petition. It just helps all of us. And the other point I was going to make, not to keep changing the subject, but on that Rule 122, this new petition, there's actually been the large news organizations and media here in Arizona who have signed on to that petition in disagreement with changing the rule. So we're getting bigger voices on this petition the more we put it out and the more we go over it. So anybody that is interested in keeping your rights intact, I would suggest you just Google Rule 122 petition Arizona Supreme Court and it will come up. Make yourself an account on the Arizona Supreme Court website, and then you can make a comment and state that you don't want them to change the rule. You want them to keep it as it is.
Maybe that's the prosecutor under an alt account, possibly. I'm just kidding.
You never.
I'm like kidding.
I guarantee you, there's some people that work at Pima
Yeah.
County and Tucson that are in the chat for sure.
So here's another thing. If you want to read this, Shibby.
Yes, sir. There was no 911 call in record for Brad Gagne Payne. Deputies and homicide units showed up. Then Nnaos and Rodkey showed up on scene and dismissed everyone else. The deputies and homicide unit.
And the crazy thing is, it took until I started getting arrested and trying to force them to get body cams. It was late 2021 or 2022 before they even got body cams. So there's nothing to go back and look at this and see if there was any foul play or strange circumstances, sadly.
Well, that's pretty big news. Sheriff Nnaos has never handled a homicide. He's not a homicide detective, and he dismissed the homicide detective.
Sheriff Nnaos isn't even a certified law enforcement agent in Arizona. Now, since he's voted in, he can perform policing duties, But that was one of the whole things that Castigar got in trouble for. And even the Arizona Attorney General, Chris Mays, stated that he was not allowed to do any policing enforcement. And, he pulled that guy over, pulled his gun on him. But yeah, you should also question, why doesn't Sheriff Nnaos want to get post certified? I think one of the reasons is he's got to go down and take another lie detector test. But
Find more mistakes on his resume.
well, I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I was surprised that Chris Mays sided against Castigar and said that he had no rights to be or no authority to police anybody in the community. So, I mean, I'm not holding my breath, but it sure would be nice if something positive came back about him being investigated for perjury.
Shauna in my chat asked, where is Internal Affairs? Well, I saw the report. Internal Affairs has looked into it, and they found they've done nothing wrong. So they looked into themselves and found no wrongdoing.
The head of the Internal Affairs, when I was going through this, was actually Richard Castigar. I filed a complaint on Richard Castigar. It went to his subordinate. I went in and videotaped our interview and asked her, so what happens if I file a complaint on your subordinate, or you're a subordinate of who I'm filing a complaint on? How does that work? And they didn't answer me. They sent me an email saying that he was exonerated and closed the case.
Wow.
So now with him being gone, basically Nnaos would be the backstop for the Internal Affairs. So there is no investigating the sheriff unless it's an outside agency. But every time Pinal County investigates them, they've done no wrong. Marana investigates them, they've done no wrong. So I think Oro Valley even investigated them, or was a joint investigation with Pinal County, and came back and nothing came of it.
It'd have to be just the feds, pretty much, right? They could do the whole RICO stuff. So.
They could, but the feds have come in and investigated him and let him off as well.
He thinks they're his friends. He gets along with them. So some investigation they're having.
No, he
He likes them.
Of course, yeah. It's a tangled web, that's for sure.
You ready to hit play, Damien? I'll hit play.
Drives to the country club in his Corvette, causes a ruckus over there, by the way, every weekend, every Friday and Saturday night. And I know the name of the country club. I'm not going to.
I know the name of the country club too. That's right. It's right by my house. We should do a live stream from there one day.
Whereabouts do you live?
I'll tell you later. But yeah, he lives near
I know exactly which house this is. So yeah, I know where he lives, but I'm trying to think what country club is up there. We'll talk. The one that starts with a V.
V.
There's V and there's a T. The T is south. The V is a little bit. Would be a little bit west of him. I don't think you can get through on Snyder Road, but
yeah, I'll have to look it up exactly.
Okay.
Go ahead, Shibby. Thank you.
But trust me, he knows that I know. And every Friday and Saturday, according to my sources and according to my intel, the guy's a drunk. And he causes a whole bunch of problems because he can. Because he can. But so let's remind the public of the key events in the last 11 years. In the last 11 years. 2015, the Star Cafe story is published and the FBI begins an investigation. By the way, this slide would be blown up in a courtroom in Nancy Guthrie's case. The reason I'm showing it is so the U.S. Attorney's Office can prepare for it. So there's no surprises. No surprises. In 2016,
Well, again, if you're just joining us, we made this point, but we'll go back to that slide. 2015, August 1st, 2015 is when when Chris Nnaos was appointed sheriff. Again, this guy's in office. And again, he wasn't elected in 2015. He was appointed because the previous sheriff retired. This guy is at the helm 6 months, and there's a major FBI investigation into his leadership and the department. 6 months on the job.
wow,
You can't make this up.
can't make it up. Okay, so 2016, Chief of Staff Brad, he takes his
He unalived
life.
himself
Yep.
during an active probe. September of 2016,
Radke.
Radke, I was going to just say his title. Is it Chief Deputy? Chief Deputy Radke, he's indicted on federal felonies. And that was for the $500,000. And he resigns. They allow him to resign. Okay. And then November of 2016, Nnaos loses the reelection. Gee, what a surprise, with the RICO investigation as the huge factor in that. Good. Thank you, Pima County residents. Thank you. Thank yourselves. Yeah, So in February of 2017, Radke pleads to 3 misdemeanor theft counts. And in May of that year of 2017, he's sentenced to 1 year's probation plus a $3,000 fine. No jail time. No nothing. No federal prison, no jail time, no nothing. And then in 2020, Nnaos wins a rematch against Mark Napier and returns as sheriff. Oh boy.
So the question is how is this going to play into the Nancy Guthrie investigation? Why is this relevant? Okay. Why is this relevant? Well, there's a whole bunch of reasons for that. First of all, the key figures. Nnaos is still here. All right. He's still here.
He's the only one who survived that scandal, Chris.
Yes.
He's the only one of these 4 players.
And that means, again, he's going to be the target of attack from defense counsel if they get a suspect in custody. But it also opens up a wider gap of questioning. And that's the investigative motives. Why was the FBI stonewalled?
Why was the house, after it was returned so quickly, had to be reopened up for the FBI to come in and do their investigating of Nancy Guthrie's house?
Yeah, and the way he described that was absolutely ludicrous speed from Spaceballs. The agents, they want to do what they do. What? What does that mean? They want to do, something to that effect. They want to do what that means or whatever they do when the FBI wanted to come back. All right.
What does that mean?
There is something going on behind the scenes here that I have been worried about, you have been worried about it, John, Gary, Dr. Gary. We all talked about it, about the 2 trains that left the station. And those of you who need a refresher course on that, you can go back in our playlist right as this thing started, one of the first couple of videos we did. We figured out right away the animosity that was behind the scenes. You could feel it. You could see it in the room. The next morning, when there was nobody from the FBI standing behind Nnaos and his homicide guy, which had zero experience, by the way. Remember? He even told them that. He even told the world that the sergeant who was in charge of that investigation, leaning up against the wall back there, he turns and tells everybody, be nice to him. He's been up all night. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, they're not collecting any of the evidence that should have been collected. They're doing probably fundamental basics, photographs, measurements, collection of swabs, collection of, video, etc. But it explains why that park's not important, why the correlation potentially between Annie's place of business and a suspectology, because I don't see any connection between Nancy Guthrie and the guy on the porch. I see a bigger connection between the guy on the porch and other family members. I see all of those things. Karen's got to sneeze. She just wrote on the notepad, please mute me. I have to sneeze.
And then I couldn't.
Okay, then she couldn't sneeze. She's got a little cutie sneeze too. Me. One of those.
You just got so off topic.
Okay.
Sorry.
I see a bigger connection between porch guy.
Oh man, people are unsubscribing.
In
but Diana, she's kind of.
What do you mean you don't see a correlation between?
Don't unsubscribe. Just chill out.
Listen, Diana for months has hated me. I don't know what I've done to that woman. I'm very sorry, Damien, but she's been all over me everywhere.
Yeah, months. I remember. Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe she's having a bad night. Let's send her big hugs.
Listen, I'm not taking over Damien's stream. I'm helping him. I'm sharing my screen. I'm helping here, Diana.
Oh, she said that last time.
She said that for the last 4 months. She hates me. I don't even know who she is.
She's probably someone that works down at the Pima County Attorney's Office.
I don't know. I'm sorry if I've said something, Diana, but I'm helping.
No, I mean she'll be back. I think it's maybe a rough night for her, but
I don't know what I've done to this.
She'll be all right. She'll be back.
He knows obviously she's there, but
I'm wrong.
There's more of a connection to the house than it is to Nancy Guthrie as a whole. There's something there. He just took her as a means to an end. As a means to an end. Evident of the fact that, he did all the pre-surveillance, a lot of those things going down. He took all the high risk levels, coming into the environment and knowing that neighborhood. This person is somewhere in that Tucson area.
Then why the heck are they not looking for him?
That's
I don't get it.
Yes, no, that's a great point, hon. That's what I'm trying to process as well with many others, is the fact that you just don't show up and kidnap an 84-year-old woman and then say, okay, our play's Bitcoin. Well, nobody knew what the heck in the family anyway that I'm aware of to date. How are we going to pay them in Bitcoin? What is this? And then the FBI was like, well, we can't tell you what to do, and we're not going to tell you what to do, but we recommend not paying it. And then, of course, all this other noise, and I've called it noise, the notes and all this other craziness. I think this is a lot simpler. That guy came into that front porch with a mission. And that mission was to get her out of the house. And then plan B was in motion. And however that would have sorted through who gets what, who drives, etc. I think there could be three people. Porch guy, the driver of the car, and somebody that's going to guard and babysit Nancy before she passed away. And I think, and I've said this from the beginning, Karen, you know, behind the scenes, meaning at our house in our own private conversations, I thought she was deceased within 36 hours. And the other question is then, okay, what are the other possibilities? What are the other theories? And of course, you know, we get all of this other stuff that I have pounded on here on this channel. But it makes sense where the lack of transparency from Nnaos comes from. Why he's not having weekly updates on the steps in the investigation.
Well, he already spent $1 million
He's not telling the public.
in because he had those 2 raids, and so by February 14th, and Nancy went missing on the 1st of February. By the 14th, he spent $1 million.
That's crazy. Wow.
That he's no longer the reason he's no longer talking to the family. Why isn't he talking to the family? What's going on there? Why did he impound their car? What's going on there? Why did he go over to their house and take photographs? What's going on there? Why did he download their phones? What's happening in that? Why aren't you going to her place of employment and finding out if there's a correlation in any way, shape, or form with somebody that could have come across with Annie? Why aren't you doing that? And why did you say everybody was cleared when your homicide folks? Why did you broadside them? Why did you do that? Well, that becomes a lot clearer when you understand his MO. He surrounds himself with the type of people that are not going to ask questions.
And that will perhaps keep his secrets.
Including the media. KVOA. Why did they move the memorial to KVOA? Why didn't the suspect send a letter to KVOA? But instead sent it to the
I always wondered if I was going to get one of those letters. You know what I mean?
I hate to wear
And
my tinfoil hat, but man, every time TMZ has a video or gets involved, it's just so bizarre to me, man.
Yeah.
Like who?
Well,
figures
this one,
handle
they
it.
did send it to KOLD, and you know, not a lot of people know about Tucson local like call letters in their station. So somehow, to me, that makes it have to be a local.
How do you know what medium did they use to send it? Do you know, was it an email? Did they send it through the snail
Well,
mail?
they used was it a portal that can't be tracked? Like it's for anonymous people to encrypted to whistleblow and give stories to the press. I
Okay.
believe. Wasn't it, Damien? Something like that?
Well, yeah, they probably use some sort of VPN. I mean,
Yeah. No, but there was a special email address or something a portal they can go to on the media's website that would allow them to anonymously
Submit
yeah,
anonymous
but
yeah.
story.
there's got to be some backdoor emergency that people could So I think it was on
It's
there, and
encrypted, so they can't.
if it
but
was
also,
real,
or you can do like Derek Colella and just
real,
or you can do like Derek Colella and just help them out and send it with your name on the email, and use
if
your.
it was real, yeah.
Well, I mean, I mean, obviously these people have to be very smart, but I mean, that sounds like they're technology whizzes as well, being able to go ahead and send all these letters out to all these organizations, and nobody at the sheriff's department or the FBI can, reverse trace any of this information or stuff that they had been sent. So it seems kind of, with all the, you know, once I learned about everybody's printer has yellow ink in it because it's putting down yellow dots on every single one of your pieces of paper you're printing so that the government can track it. It's just hard for me to believe that people are out there sending ransom letters and Bitcoin addresses, and these people can't figure out anywhere it's come from.
Worked at KVOA. If this was about Savannah, then why not send it to her employer, her past employer, where they have the most intimate knowledge about her? Why are you sending it to the competitors and now to TMZ and all of that, the entertainment company?
And if you're sending it for a ransom,
Maybe they
I think you would
know.
want to send it to the family, right?
You would think, yeah.
Who are you going to try and get the ransom from? They'd be the only one that would be willing to pay it. The whole story is just very bizarre.
Yeah. What do you need Harvey Levin for? And all?
Yeah, and I'm getting a lot of this information just being on your panel and listening to this stuff go down. I really didn't look into her story at all, but yeah, the more that I listen to it, it's just so bizarre.
Oops. Uh-oh.
I,
Okay.
the person that sent the letter. How can you trap the IP address instantly on Colella, but you can't figure out the messaging board that sent the ransom notes?
No, it wasn't just a messaging board. So I remember them talking about it in that court filing. I read that Colella's court filing. It talked about it being a portal that could be encrypted so people could anonymously whistleblow and not feel like, when you drop a baby off at the fire, no questions asked kind of thing. So that's what was used.
The sheriff said there were more arrests coming recently. Was that just another lie?
Weeks ago, he said that.
Was that just another lie? I don't know. And if so, why would you lie to the public about these kind of things? Why would you do that? Because you surround yourself with people that would do it for you. And one of these people that you surrounded yourself took his own life from the pressure, from the guilt, from the shame. But you have no shame. And nobody
Whoa,
really
he's calling him out.
pinned you down.
You don't have to pause it. I was just, he scared me.
Duck and weave and all this other stuff.
Ow.
And you know what? Nancy Guthrie's going to pin you down. Nancy Guthrie will pin you to the mat. And it will probably be a TKO. If you think it's bad now, Sheriff Nnaos, just wait.
Wow.
Because
He's calling
right
him
now you're in round one where,
He's calling him out.
well, actually round two, because you screwed up the crime scene at your leadership. You screwed up arresting streamers where you said the DA was on board. Apparently you missed that part. It's called the Constitution.
She was on board. She
And
just
again,
walked it back.
you're not really concerned with that
Yeah,
type of
right.
stuff.
Yeah, she even came out and said that she was for it before she was against it. So I mean, I know he wants to play good cop, bad cop there, but you know, she's part of the club here.
Most definitely.
Because with the RICO money you were spending, you held award banquets.
Yeah, this is interesting. They had their annual awards banquets in luxury hotels. They paid for expensive meals, jazz and magic acts,
What?
tuxedos, and trinkets. I wonder what the trinkets were.
I bet you they're little bobbleheads of Nnaos.
Either that or challenge coins.
Yeah.
They like the
Or
challenge
what?
in that one video where you know that girl who was really pressing Nnaos
Yeah.
did the interview.
Katia Mendoza.
Yeah. In the background, you could see he's really proud. He had all his challenge coins displayed.
From AZM something.
And you know, some of those challenge coins are made when an officer kills somebody or hits somebody or arrests somebody, or
Wow.
you know, they that's not always, you know, a positive thing for the public that they get a challenge coin for.
Wow.
I don't know if you could give those out to people. It's crazy. They also spent money on promotional items. They spent over $57,000.
Sheesh.
$57,000 on trinkets and giveaways over 7 years, obviously with no clear crime prevention purpose.
Wow.
So that's just like money out the window. Crazy. We already talked about the cafe costs.
My favorite is the other examples.
Let's see. They bought model airplanes, restaurant bills. So they spent money at restaurants. They
spent
bought
money.
microwaves and rush shipping. Are you kidding me? Personal and department items all funneled through that SAV account. It's not funny. I mean, I laughed, but this is really serious. Yeah, and no flyers of Nancy, no flyers of Porch Guy, and no seemingly community effort to try to identify Porch Guy and get to the bottom of this case.
Yeah, and I love this idea. The detectives investigating this case are not Nnaos. I completely agree with you, 1,000%.
But here's the problem.
Go ahead.
You go.
Well, the problem is actually Nnaos gets the last word.
Of course.
They have to report back to the command staff, and Nnaos gets to override anything he feels like he wants to override.
A guy who's never worked a murder case in his entire career.
Evident of the fact they left a mat.
The doormat outside Nancy's house.
Well, he was actually the lead investigator on the Gabby Gifford shooting, so I have to disagree with
Yeah,
her.
but from what I heard, that was handed to him.
Oh, I know, but he still was part of the investigation on that murder. To me, I think that's where he solidified his position and how he's been able to stay a sheriff, you know.
Well, he also covered up for the biggest illegal immigration invasion in American history in the modern day, where 500,000 people came up right through his district, and then he got paid they got paid a lot of money to protect all those hotels, the 1-star hotels.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I have video where we went to the juvenile detention center off of Ajo and Kino there, and they actually rented out the back portion of the juvenile detention center, and were processing all the illegal immigrants. We went in there and filmed it, and they kicked us out.
Yeah, I mean, Nick Shirley was here. James O'Keefe came here. Do you know them too?
Yeah, I reached out to James O'Keefe and sent him my video. He actually came after us and went to that hotel, but we actually went straight to the juvenile center, drove around back, and walked in and was video recording. It was just jam packed with illegal aliens or whatever your political term is for it. But it was people from all walks of life, all countries. It was not, 90% Mexicans from across the border. It was Indians.
That's what they don't understand. Yeah, it's crazy.
It was a big organization to ship all these people in, for sure. And I think you're right. He was definitely complicit in all of that.
Oh yeah. All right, Shibby.
You can't make that up. Who made that decision? It wasn't an experienced investigator. Every experienced investigator I've had on our program has said, why'd they leave the mat?
They also said they would have probably taken the door, literally.
And the fixture for the camera.
Nest camera, exactly.
Yeah, just weirdness. That wouldn't have happened. But it did under his watch. Again, all of this is under his watch as well. So he knew crime was taking place and he let it happen.
I also want to remind people that the Board of Supervisors called him in, if you guys remember, just a couple months ago. Should I hold off if we're still going through this? Okay.
Go.
And I just want to remind everybody, in May, just 2 months ago, the Board of Supervisors asked the State Attorney General to investigate a charge of perjury against Nnaos. This was regarding one of the lawsuits that was filed against him for his unscrupulous actions, retaliatory actions towards deputies and people under him, and that he allegedly lied under oath about his past record. So that's still sitting at the AG's office on somebody's desk. We haven't heard anything. We don't know when we're going to hear something, but that's 2026. That's the serious thing for this year. We just took you back to
Yeah, it was a
2015.
federal case,
That's
the
11 years
Giffords
ago.
case.
And now, this guy hasn't had a clean record since he's been in office. We're enumerating all of the things that he has done in office.
So the legal outcomes and the criticisms from the public, right? I think we have, just as bystanders looking through the window, are going, okay, something's wrong here. Because we woke up one day with national headlines that Savannah Guthrie's mother was kidnapped out of her house. Those headlines haven't changed. She's still missing. And we know she's not in her house. So an investigative analysis has to refocus your resources away from the house and into the house. How did the suspect determine points of entry, routes? How many times did the suspect come into the geographic region? And if so, what type of tool would have been utilized? A truck, a car, a bulldozer? I mean, I'm making that up, of course, but those are the kind of things now where investigative resources have to be focusing, while simultaneously you're waiting for a DNA / result of some sort. But you're still going to have that unknown sitting out there. And you're going to have to answer that unknown. All right. You're going to have to answer why a 30-06 fragments when it strikes a human being. because all the conspiracy theorists are going to jump on it and go, no, that's impossible. There's no way. No way. Well, this case is going to
Oops.
have that kind of problem times 10. Times 10. So you've got to check all the boxes to say that you did it. Meaning you've got to go to all the gun stores and show pictures, even though there's not a sophisticated criminal in the world that would have pulled this off by going to a legal gun store, signing, federal paperwork and getting themselves on video, buying the gun, and then wearing it on the front porch at Nancy Guthrie's house. I would have caught that guy the next day. And you notice they haven't caught that guy. Nobody on that list that the FBI went to all the gun stores. That was to check the boxes.
Do you think that he will be caught?
Yeah, we did this. Yeah, we looked into all the people that may have
Porch
had
guy.
a
Yeah.
connection.
I am so surprised that with all these, sleuths
Technical tech.
and true crime people, that somebody hasn't identified that exact jacket that he was wearing.
Oh, they have. They got it from Walmart, and they had it all picked out, I think.
Oh,
Those
did they? Okay.
They had all the model names. And
Yeah,
numbers.
it's from
Okay.
Walmart.
Like I said, I haven't been following this at all, but that's one thing that I seen this guy. It looks like it doesn't look like a common thing, but I guess if you get
The only thing is it was in black and white, so the colors are probably reversed, meaning when it's in infrared night
Yeah.
vision mode,
Gotcha.
colorful colors look white. Because I know when a fox runs across my green lawn, I can't see him, but if an orange fox runs across my bright green lawn, if it's in night vision mode, I can't see him, just his feet, because they're like white.
Oh, okay.
So colors are inverted. So
Yeah.
colors are, and black and solids are like black. So I can just see his paws and his tail, the tip of his tail.
Well, what do you think, Shibby? I mean, the further it gets away, I think it's less likely that they will. But what do you
Oh,
think?
I'm starting to think this didn't even happen. I'm not even sure anymore.
You're on board with that conspiracy theory that she may have died and they're just using it to bring in the flock camp?
I have to be, because I mean, in this day and age, with all the data and fog reveal and all these satellites in the sky and cameras everywhere, nothing else. They can't give us nothing else.
I know. And two things I wanted to point out was one, like I said, I have called about these cameras on top of the intersections. You've seen the video cameras that are sitting on top of the at every intersection. I've asked the sheriff deputies. I've asked the police department. I actually was robbed at a job site, and somebody pulled up in their car, grabbed my tools, and then drove off right through the intersection that had a camera on there. And I've asked every one of the cops, and they've told me that they don't know who runs those cameras, and they do not have access to them. So that's one thing that I think strange, that we have cameras all around town, and everybody keeps telling me that they don't know and they don't have access to them.
Well, it's got to be the DMV then, for them looking to keep track of the traffic.
It's not them either. Then the other question I would have is, did you guys hear about the car chase the same morning that Nancy Guthrie was kidnapped over on the west side?
No, I didn't. No.
A car chase?
Yeah, there was a big car chase over the police scanner, that they were chasing somebody over there on the west side the same night she disappeared.
No, I don't remember that.
I'll get the audio and send it to you.
Okay.
Oh. Type of car. White Kia.
I believe it was a white car, to be honest with you.
I guess the odds are it's going to be a white car in Arizona.
Right. Yeah. But those were the things I pointed out.
Somehow to the house somewhere for the victim risk continuum. I'm not going to go that way tonight. However, now, if we look at the totality of this thing right now, here we are still talking about her, which we should. everybody should be still talking about her, because you see, the sheriff wants it to go away. Evident the fact that we were on site, and there wasn't a flyer, there wasn't anybody talking about Nancy Guthrie in any way, shape, or form. When I walked into the Circle K store, you know, she looked like a deer caught in the headlights, the clerk. When I asked her some questions about, hey, you know, so tell me about the Nancy Guthrie case, and, you know, how much video did the authorities take out of this store? And she looked at me really, I mean, just, oh, I was like, a lot, huh? And we kind of chatted for a couple of minutes, but I didn't see a single poster of a picture of Nancy and or the guy on the porch at their store, which is less than 0.5 of a mile away from Annie's house, and 2.0 tenths of a mile from Nancy's house. Not a single flyer.
Nothing throughout the whole city. Even in the sheriff's department lobby, which we went to, there was nothing.
They were able to
Nothing
get in the
about
lobby.
Nancy Guthrie case. And that's in the sheriff's department headquarters.
Yeah, I guess so.
Interesting.
Nothing.
They
Zero.
can let you in if they buzz you in.
And then we drove on the Interstate 10 looking for the, quote, billboard. Okay.
Never saw it.
We didn't see it. We drove up and down that interstate.
Corridor.
Didn't see it. And by the way, that kind of thing is, quite frankly, at this juncture, useless in terms of the billboard. You should have the suspect on that billboard, because that guy's still out there.
With the $1.2 million reward reminder for people as incentive.
That's the guy we want to be looking for. And,
Or
you
how
know,
about a
I talk to
silver
a couple
alert?
streamers, and guess what? These guys and gals, they're out there. And they flooded the parks. They, you know, I saw some guys talking to, you know, where they're handing out Narcan in the parks, and people are coming up to the table, and he's showing, you know, pictures of the suspect.
JLR.
Good for him. And then we
And you were there,
discover,
Damien, too.
Karen just
Remember that, Damien, when you guys went to Gutierrez's son's pizza giveaway where they were, handing out stuff to the homeless? That was really good, because those people see everything all night long, and they don't want to talk to the cops. They would rather talk to you and JLR.
Right.
So they got all those things. That lady was filling her backpacks with soap and brush and socks, and they got pizza. And at the very end, JLR was, and you guys were standing there handing flyers to them.
No, I was do more of that.
Much rather talk to you guys than the cops, for sure.
discovers, not me, Karen discovers that Nnaos had disassembled his street teams, his direct patrol teams. And there's only one direct patrol team. And so then we got hold of, as you guys know, Tucson PD, and said, hey, did any of their guys get hold of your teams? Over there in Tucson, it's called Bravo teams. Did you guys correlate and talk about the suspect that's looking here? And what did they tell us?
They've never been contacted by Pima County regarding the Nancy Guthrie case.
Did you hear
Look
that?
the stuff up. That's police work 101.
What was it? What was it again?
They've never been contacted by Sheriff Nnaos for the Nancy Guthrie case.
These two right here.
No, Sheriff Nnaos has not contacted TPD
Really?
about Nancy. That's what I was saying. That's like, isn't that so odd? Like they're literally like a mile or two apart from each other, basically in
And
the same.
odds are they've come in contact with these people, right?
Well, unless they went down Sunrise, then the people would have left and went through Tucson, just like the murderers did for Paul Clifford. So yeah, it is kind of strange that they wouldn't be calling them and asking them to search their cameras or Yeah, that's odd.
Or did they pull over any weird vehicles that night or around that time? Or
I mean, but Savannah doesn't seem to be making any stink about it, and she's the only one that really would hold some weight. If she came down here and had a press conference and said they're not doing enough, they're not talking, but she could, I mean, it seems like they've moved on from other than hoping for the best. Sad to say.
getting the house ready to sell, probably.
They probably don't want to be part of the mess that's going on either at this point.
You know,
Yeah.
Police work 101. Okay. So what are the legal and the public outcomes and the criticism? I think the criticism is important because it motivates politicians. That's what criticism does. It doesn't motivate the cops. They're already moving, meaning the ground level troops. They're going 150 miles an hour. But the politicians, those that, wear the shiny little stuff up here, and, of course, they don't do anything wrong, they get motivated. And it's not by bringing them a box of donuts. It's by citizens picking up the phone and calling their offices and saying, hey, Senator Kelly, yeah, did you know all about Sheriff Nnaos and the RICO case? And did you know somebody involved in that unalived themselves? Were you aware of that when you brought the box of donuts? You see, politicians don't want bad press. They don't like it. But sometimes it's necessary. Because when good people do nothing, evil strives forward. And right now, there is a complacency here to the public. The public can help find the suspect in this case. And just like Sebastian Rogers, I talked to Seth a couple years ago, who is now suing the sheriff's department. They just filed a lawsuit. And one of the things I could not understand even back then, and Seth and I have had many private phone calls, which I'm not going to reveal here without his permission. But the one thing I told him was a clarity of focus on, you're at work on video, right? He goes, yes. And my question to him was, did the sheriff clear you knowing that you were at work? And he said, they won't talk to me. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Can you imagine being the father of a missing child, knowing that you were at work when your child went missing, and that they have video of you at work at the jail, and the sheriff not clearing you as a person of interest? Have we lost our minds? So what happens legally? What happened? Radke was indicted on multiple felonies. He pled out to 3 misdemeanors. That's a sweet deal.
Yeah. No jail time. 1 year probation, $3,000. No prison time.
No prison time.
None. U.S. Attorney called it a just outcome. With a box of donuts.
That's part of the problem, Chris.
Yeah, I mean, we have to see it and call it as it is. That's reality.
But to the public, that was seen as a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. And why no one was prosecuted?
Now, why only 1 out of the 3 were prosecuted. And one goes on to become sheriff again.
Admissions
you-
that superiors were involved. People admitted that the upper echelon knew what was going on. And so you had $500,000 misused with minimal accountability.
And zero payback to the public other than that $3,000 fine for the 3 misdemeanors.
We want our money.
I think the public got screwed on this.
We want
So
our
is it
money
okay,
back.
Pima County, citizens of Pima County, is it okay that you have 2 cafeterias still functioning and that you have an 84-year-old woman that disappeared? Is it okay? I hope not. I don't think you feel that that is something that's okay. But thank goodness for good journalists. Thank goodness for Caitlin. She did a great job. And thank you, honey. I know you did a lot of work on this over the last week or two.
Thanks. It's my job. Thank you, Rorik.
I don't follow many channels, but I always make time for yours. I truly appreciate the professionalism. Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Respect and diplomacy you bring to every discussion. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. You're very, very kind. Project grant, $3.5 million awarded to Pima County Sheriff, effective 7/1/24. Check it out.
Thank you, Denise.
Boom. We will.
Oh.
Oh,
Thank you.
Shibby.
Bella.
Yo.
I think that's pretty much it on that
Yeah.
interview, right?
I think I remember getting here and it's a lot of thanking the people at the end. Want me to scan through it maybe and click through to see if looks like they're reading a lot of things, and
Yeah.
I don't think he flashes something up here. I want to see what that is.
Sure.
This pink line represents a series of arguments
Thought it was a road
that
and
took
cars.
place in a civilized legislative session.
Yeah. You want me to find other things, or this has been great? Like, I mean, I didn't think we'd make it this
No,
far.
yeah, I was just if you guys have any final thoughts.
No, this was amazing. You guys have been great. Chat's
Yeah.
been everything's
No, I was going to show you one video that brings us back to downtown. I found the video of showing you where all those cops stand and how many of them there are if you want to see it. And then I got
yeah.
Is that it?
no,
Yeah.
but that one's pretty funny. Go ahead and play that one. That's doofus.
That reminds me.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
One more time. It's good.
I got that mustache on.
Although this scene had some great laughs, remember,
Oh, I got a longer one, but yeah, I got about a 30-second video of him in his Mario uniform. That's Sheriff Nnaos.
Yeah, Criminal Network. He covered that. He really. Actually, you know what? We should play that real quickly.
Put that one on. That's the way to go out with this.
Which one? The white noise?
No, well, yeah, the Nnaos one, because it kind of had everything there. Alex's.
Yeah, but that's 45 minutes long. So Alex, I'll send you the link. He
This
made a
one's
45-minute compilation of Nnaos. Of all his interviews, everything for the last 15 years. And he said he could have went longer.
It's like, oh, the FBI is investigating me. Oh, I love the FBI. The FBI is investigating. I love them. Back and forth, like in the same sentence, like being a hypocrite in almost the same sentence, saying, speaking out of both sides of his ass.
Let's see.
So
Here you go. It's going to be silent. It won't let me do it, but you can at least see downtown. So this is the corner of 4th and
I don't see it.
oh, it's not sharing
You got to
yet.
put, you got to put it up, Damien, don't you?
But I don't see it in the back.
Oh, it's not backstage.
No, it's not. I had to change it. It wouldn't let me play the video. Give me a second. Trying to minimize it here. There we go. Share screen. Allow. All right. Oop, there we go. Can you see it? Still there?
Yeah. I'm just sorry. I was multitasking here.
I didn't hear you. I hit mute. What'd you say?
Oh, I'm multitasking here.
Oh, okay. So this is at the corner of 4th Avenue and Congress. And this is the force that they have every single weekend, Friday and Saturday night. And it's literally 500 feet away from where the shooting happened this weekend. And it's crazy how the technology in this showing your entire screen. All right, here you go. Can you hear the audio?
No.
I didn't hear audio.
Okay, well, it's more important just to see the video. You can see how many cops are down there. This one right here, she's the one that arrested me at the Circle K down the street. That one.
Oh, wow.
She dyed her hair after she arrested me. I guess we were calling her a drunk and a crackhead, and she didn't like it.
She seems sedated. She seems like she's tired.
It'll zoom out here in a second.
We need to get a lip reader on them.
Now that's not a very good video. I thought it was another one I picked. I actually snuck up behind that guy, and I was leaning on his little cart there, and I had all of them. But they're right at that intersection. There's usually about 20 to 40 officers every single weekend. So um, just find it interesting that 500 feet away, and instead of spreading out and
Oh my gosh.
patrolling,
Dom, can I say thank you, Dom C, for gifting 5 memberships in my chat? So Blue Eyes, Sean Higgins, Candy, Mountain Winds, and Pat. Thank you, Dom C.
very nice of you. Yeah, sorry, I thought that one would be a little bit better. I have to find another one on my phone.
I bet you see a lot of stuff out there.
Got 3,000 videos on my phone.
Like your mic, we're not hearing you good if you're not.
Oh, sorry. I got about 3,000 videos on my phone. It's hard to figure out.
You got some stories.
Definitely. Well, I appreciate you guys inviting me in and letting me share Paul Clifford's story. I don't know if you want to. I'm going to put that Etsy thing back up, but we've gotten off the beaten path. But at the end of the night, if anybody was in here for that story, Paul Clifford's wife has an Etsy store, and let's see if I can bring it up. And it would be nice if people went over there, subscribed to her TikTok channel, and let's see. I think this is it. There we go. Let me share my screen with something else and go over there and purchase one of her little. I don't know if it's a what you would call it, a knickknack, or let's see. I don't want to share that window. Hang on, let's see. Nope. Hang on a second. All right, there we go. I didn't want to share that one, but that's all right.
No, I took it away. Yeah, I was.
That's all right. It ain't anything super important. Just all my court paperwork and my strategy for suing the sheriff's department and everything. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so that's Paul Clifford's wife's Etsy store.
Uh-huh.
And if anybody would like to go over and give her a blessing, buy one of her I don't know what they are. We should have looked even more. I can't even find the page. All right, there it is.
All right.
Oh, so she makes little decorations and stuff. Like she's got little creosote things she makes. So something to maybe go over there and, like I said, if you want to go down to the court, did I just see something that they were going to when on the video that you posted that they were going to postpone the case until next week?
Which one?
Paul Clifford's case. I thought they said something they were going to.
Oh, I didn't hear that. No, I haven't heard that.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay, let me give you if you want to post this in there. Copy.
Oh, there it is.
And if you want to share the link, I put it in the private chat there.
All right, everybody. If you want to go over and support Christina Clifford's Etsy, and she would definitely like that. I know I've never met her, but she seems like a really sweet woman.
She does. And even if you want to just go to her TikTok channel and tell her hello, you can see that's the name of her TikTok channel there on the screen. Enchanted Desert. Enchanted Desert Essentials is what her TikTok page is. And she's pretty active.
Enchanted Desert Essentials.
Yeah, she's pretty active over there. And she did put a video out the first day of court. I don't know if she took it back because her advocate or somebody told her to, but she's been kind of quiet on what's going on at the courthouse.
Well, thank you again for coming on. It was great. I think everybody learned a lot, and we'll have to do it again for sure.
Yeah, awesome. What time is court tomorrow?
We're
You said
leaving
9 a.m.?
here. Yeah, 9 a.m. So we're leaving here like around 8.
Oh, okay. And he had said Judge Foreman was his judge. Judge Foreman does not like audio recording. We went into his courtroom. He immediately called court security and had us physically removed out of his courtroom for trying to audio record.
Jeez.
So, good luck.
All right. Well, good thing he's in here. I'll let him know again. But yeah, we'll have to do this again soon.
Yeah, hopefully we got some good news about the investigation or the perjury charges going on, or is it totally over now with them their questioning, or did they just send the questions up to the attorney general and ask her to investigate?
Yeah.
That's it?
Yep. They're just waiting to see if she's going to bring charges, which we know that's most likely not going to happen. So yeah, it's crazy.
Sad situation here in town, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Do you go to any of the board of supervisor meetings?
No, I usually host them on my on my thing, on my channel. Remember?
Yeah, I didn't know if you had went down there for any, but you can also do an audio call for the call to public. So if anybody does want to go ahead and get their 3 minutes of speech in, call down to the Pima County Board of Supervisors. It's every 2 weeks on Tuesday morning around 9 o'clock, and let your voice be heard.
Yeah, there's that woman talking about her dog. She ran against Nnaos or something, or she was going to sue them all. She's there at every one of those meetings. I listened to her. She talks about her service pet, her dog.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
she's another one that they raided and took all of her animals.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother
She really
story.
gives them.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story with what they're doing around here. They built that new Pima Animal Community Care Center, and everybody that doesn't,
Animals too.
yeah, everybody that doesn't want to be affiliated with the pack, they're shutting them down, raiding them, taking all their animals, and they did that lady that had the bird sanctuary. They did the people that I worked with that did the cat sanctuary, and when you had put up the meeting a few weeks ago, that was the first time I saw that lady, another lady who had all of her
Oh,
animals.
nice. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of regulars that do that. That's what I've noticed.
There is, but we need, for them, by the time they heard that person the fourth or fifth time, they're just tuning them out. So I think it's be good to get some, fresh people in there to speak up and at least give their opinion or how they feel things should be run.
That's what it's gonna take. Well, any final words? Anyone in the chat? Have any final questions or anything for Reluctant Prophet? I'm going to get to the chat. Are you anything else?
I don't see any questions over in mine. So
Okay. All right, cool. Well, I will catch you later. RP, and then let's talk this week and plan the next show.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys. Shibby,
Cool.
it was nice to meet you. Thanks. I'm going to go over to your channel and subscribe. And
thank you.
You know what? Can you do me a favor in the private chat? Can you put your channel? I can click over to it.
Oh, I'd love to. Thank you
Awesome.
so much. A pleasure meeting you too.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do it again.
I got one song if you want to just you'll listen to it as you're getting over to Shibby's channel, but it's hilarious. So
I have my live dual stream going there. Here, if you want to come over and say hi, that's the channel too.
All right.
I got a live dual stream. If you want to come and say hi and like, anybody wants to give me a sympathy like.
yeah,
hi,
he likes those sympathy likes.
I love it.
I've been spamming your chat all night, so
Good.
hopefully
Thank you. If you,
got more.
I won't take. I promise I'm not taking over Damien's. I'm just here to help. That's it.
Both both
Take it over.
both channels, you know, we're all in it together. So I'll where did this go? Oh man, I'm hitting the wall here. My brain's not working right now.
Hey, Brenda, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you. Oh, you were saying hi. I get mixed up with the StreamYard chat because it's everybody's chat mixed together.
Yeah. In the private chat, I put my live stream link and my channel if you wanted.
I got it.
Thank you guys for even considering. Thank you so much.
I'm already subscribed with all the notifications.
Oh, wow. I have to be on my game then.
Yeah. Should be.
It's getting
Have you
serious
seen
here
that?
now.
I
I'll
love
get my
the-
camera fired up.
I love the white noise. We need more white noise.
You are just white noise. What? White noise? That's right, white noise. No way, Sheriff. That's white noise. You all are just white noise. Background static. White noise. White noise. Exactly. Now quiet down so I can hear myself say.
Well, I grabbed my coffee, turned on the news, feeling the waiting for updates blues. The questions came in a mighty swarm, but somehow nothing could break the form. Where's the info? What's the deal? Can somebody tell us what's actually real? The room got quiet, the cameras froze, then out came the phrase everybody knows. White noise, the magical sound that drowns the voice. If the questions get too loud, just call it background from the crowd. White noise, white noise. The official go to answer deployment device. When somebody asks, can you explain? Just hit repeat and say the same. We need some answers, we need some clues. We need a little less interview blues. But from the podium came the mighty refrain. Everybody calm down, here comes the same. Every sheriff's heard it for 50 years, so all that criticism disappears. The crowd said, wait, we're still confused. The microphone said, congratulations, you've been duped. White noise, white noise. A symphony of convenient voice. When the details start to collide, just take a little verbal ride. White noise, white noise. Turn the volume up and rejoice. If you can't find the answer today, maybe the answer went away. Wow! Why not the big fancy lab downtown? Why chase the rumors flying around? We use the lab that we always use. That's the lab that we chose to choose. And if you ask about long ago, there's another story from a different show. 40 years back, that's ancient history. Cue the dramatic mystery symphony. When the microphone starts to blow and nobody knows what nobody knows, there's one little phrase that saves the day. Just wave your hands and shout hooray. Is that a fact? Is that a clue? Can we get something we can use? No need to panic, no need to fuzz. The answer is static for us. White noise, the loudest sound with the least amount of choice. Questions flying left and
Sheriff,
right.
what about the allegations? You are all white noise.
White noise. A background band with a cheerful voice. When the public wants the why, just turn the volume up. Sky high. White noise. White noise.
White noise. White noise.
You're hilarious, Flicker. Hey, I got a question for you.
Did you read that one? I saw it too.
I got a question for you. Did you, when you made this song, did you ask it to mimic the Lego song "Your Government is Run by"?
I didn't make the actual. I just did the video.
It's got that same hook as that, you know, that Lego video. Your government is run by.
Oh, really? No, I'll have to ask her.
Yeah, when you get off, Google that Lego video. Your government is run by, and the hook is almost exactly the same.
Huh? Probably. I mean, that's how they make a lot of them. They take other people's songs and
Yeah, it's catchy. That's for sure. I like it. I like the video too. Is his Corvette white?
yeah,
Is it?
that's why.
He's got a new
Um,
C8 Corvette, 2023 at least.
Being a sheriff pays well.
Yeah, the base Corvettes, so those Stingrays aren't. I mean, they're not that expensive.
They're a short guy's car.
Yeah, but that those Corvettes are pretty good though. I mean,
Well, I think it would be not a good look if he was driving around in like a Lamborghini or
right?
something more. Who knows? He can probably afford it. He's probably worth.
Yeah, he's probably got another car he could drive to work, make it look.
No, I was surprised that he was parked out front though, because they do have a gate where they can pull him back. But that one video where they caught him, he was walking out to the front parking lot to get in his Corvette.
Right. At least it's a Chevy. I'll give him that.
It's a Chevy. That's true.
Well, I'm gonna be wrapping it up here because I gotta take Alex in the morning, get up early so I don't miss that.
All right, gentlemen, appreciate it, and
Yep.
we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for the chat, everybody coming in, sticking around. Really appreciate it. Everybody that subbed, thank you very much.
Yep. Have a good night. Catch you next time.
Thank you. Great presentation tonight. Thank you, bro.
All right, bye.
Wow, dude, that was awesome. Like, I mean, I just thought I was going to call in and talk with you and Alex and just have a little fun. Turns into this amazing show.
Yeah, we were gonna do that last night, but it didn't work out obviously because there was the other stuff going on.
No, tonight was perfect because everyone, there was a lot of it was busy last night, eh? So it's better you did it.
Yeah, there's been lots to cover with another national story hitting Tucson. Like that's a worldwide story actually. 10 people hit. I mean,
wait till you wake up in the morning. There'll probably be something else to focus on.
it's going to court.
Stay safe.
Take Alex to court there in the morning. Well, final words there, Shibby, before
Final words are everyone in Damien's chat and Damien yourself and everyone in my chat. Thank you all for just being here and spreading good vibes. Thank you all. And if I offended anyone, it's not my intention. I don't hate women. I love you all.
Yes, I mimic that.
Tucson nights don't sleep much anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't think too much into it.
90% of my subscribers are female, so if I get an argument with somebody, it's bound to be a woman. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just happy because I lost some service here, but luckily I didn't lose the stream all night. But
I saved the show. I get it.
no, I think I would have probably would have cut out. I think if you weren't. Yeah, so I think you did. And
so they can't get mad at me
follow
for
my new
taking
channel.
over.
The 857 Media.
The call comes over the scanner tonight.
Speaking of that,
Where's that link?
Well,
Do I have it?
I haven't put it, but
I'll find it.
But actually, I'll put the link because you know what? There's an after hours. It's a 24-hour stream, and I need to get my hours over there. So
which is that one called? 8x7 Media?
Yes.
Oh, I got it. Yeah, I'm subbed.
It's already live right now.
Cool. I'll put it in my chat.
So what's gonna happen is my stream, once it ends, it'll automatically take everybody
Oh.
over there.
Okay.
And it'll be like, because some people still like to chat after, like,
Right.
and so actually a lot of people fall asleep to the scanner. It's they tell me
Maybe they
it's,
fell asleep to this, and you'll get them automatically sleeping in there too.
sometimes I think it does happen. I'm not gonna lie.
I got to do more of that redirecting, like even went between Ted and I and our friends, and just ending the stream, and there's like hundreds of people there. Instead, redirecting is good. I got to learn how to do
Praying
that.
somebody's
Yes.
alright. You can hear the helicopters.
Thank you guys, everybody coming in. Shibby, you want to have any final thoughts before I?
Just that I put your other channel in my chat, so go on over there and like him. We're going to be sent there, and anybody who wants to come over and say hi to me and like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. If not, I'll see you next time wherever we are. Thank you.
Yeah, you're gonna be sent over there. All right, Shibby, I am hitting the wall, man.
Yeah, me too.
All right,
Thanks.
man.
I'll stick around and listen and just shut her down whenever you want. I'll see you over the other
Sounds
one.
good.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
All right, everybody, and thank you guys, everybody, hitting the like button, sharing it out, helping out with the supers and the jewels, lots of jewels. Thank you to all the mods. Thank you so much.
Oh, hey,
Tomorrow.
can I jump in and quickly say that I think maybe tomorrow morning I'll have to do something to watch Alex's or whatever. So I'll be up to watch you guys, hopefully.
Oh, and thank you so much, Tina Marie. Subscribe to Dana's DoorDash.
I've seen her. She's neat.
Okay. Wow. I didn't even know about her. Thank you, Tina
See you in
Marie.
the morning. Tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. East, 10 a.m. Central, I guess 9 a.m. Mountain or 8 a.m. Or, I don't know.
Huh. You talking about, yeah, tomorrow in the morning.
Oh, so it'll be noon East, 11 Central, 10 Mountain, and 9 Pacific. But you guys are on the same as Pacific this time of year.
Sounds about right.
Yep. Tomorrow morning, get up.
Yep.
All right. Thanks. Good night, everyone.
All right. Good night, Shibby. Thank you so much, Tina Marie, for the super, and everybody else in the chat. Thank you so much. I am going to be seeing you guys in the morning, bright and early.
He's keeping Southern Arizona connected.
So after this stream will end. It'll take you to the new stream. Yeah, it was a long stream. That's the way it goes some nights, some days. Thank you, Kathleen. Liberty and justice for all. Esmeralda. Ooh, nice. Very nice.
For the people scared and waiting through the night. 857 keeps the signal alive.
All right, everybody. So just hang on tight. It'll take you to the new stream. I will talk to you guys in tomorrow. Be with Alex. Wish him luck that everything gets dropped. Just checking, looking at the comments. I had to use a backup computer, so I'm kind of having to look over here. All right, everybody, sleep good. I will talk to you in the morning. Peace and love, everyone. Thank you so much for helping out. supporting all the positive comments. Prayers for Alex tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Good night.
857 Tucson. Real footage, real voices. Southern Arizona. We're still alive.